tonight on Debate Amongst Friends. NBA updates, news, and rumors, including CP3 headed to Houston. The Jackson era over before it began. WWE news and updates, including Monday Night Ball, Money in the Bank, and goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire, and more. Starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to another edition of Debates Among Friends, live on YouTube and on Twitch. This is the 60th episode of the Sports Podcast on June 28th, 2017. We are getting close to Evolution 2017. I am your host, the Professor John Gotti, and always by my side. They may knock him, they may question his credibility, but he certainly looks like a doctor to me. It's Doc Ocean. How you doing tonight?
You always go there every single time we do this. Oh, good. I'm doing pretty great, sir. Got a lot of stuff to cover.
I mean, you say that, but then you laugh and you enjoy the articular style of the things that I say during this introduction, my good sir.
Oh my God.
But big man, we got a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening.
A Jerome James reference on you if you don't stop it.
Please don't. Don't do that to me. I don't need those problems right now. I really don't.
You guys got bigger fish to fry. But let's jump right into it. Breaking news midway through my regular full-time job and training today. As across the ticker, of course, I almost got in trouble and busted with my cell phone out on the floor when CP3 was traded to the Houston Rockets. I mean, my goodness, how can I focus on training when my team made a splash trade? I mean, how can I focus, John Gotti?
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't just take the rest of the day off, good sir.
It was so tough not to. Like, we were going over examples, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
The day started off insane, but then when this news broke out, I was waiting for a text message or a phone call from a guy who is synonymous with bodies of water.
Oh, God.
To tell Professor John Gotti that he has left the job with no notice, and someone tried to stop him. He sweet-kinned them on the way out because it is a heck of a day today.
And now, when I first saw the trade, which obviously mind-boggling.
Absolutely.
I hate the fact that we gave up some great role players, but I love the aggression. And, you know, before the show, we talked about it a little bit, and I think I mentioned it momentarily, and something very brief, and I said, this is the same splash, similar to what the Warriors did. They let go of some of their role players, and then they brought in some different ones, you know, I mean, why not? But the Rockets will send Sam Decker, one of your favorite players on the Rockets, Patrick Beverly.
Easily my favorite because of your reaction from draft night.
We should have took a point guard. I still stand by that. Lou Williams.
I mean, looking back at it now, though, I'm going to let you finish, but looking back at it now, though, are you happy? So instead of you drafting a point guard, now you got one of the best floor generals in the game. Floor general point guards, not I'm going to take 55,000 shots.
This is true, but Tyus Jones doesn't take 50,000 shots. That's why it's kind of like, you know, it would have been perfect, but I understand what you're saying. But, I mean, I'm excited. I'm interested to see what else happens. I don't know if we have enough firepower to get Paul George, and I'm not sure if the Knicks are going to buy out Carmelo, but obviously Paul Millsap's on the table, Blake Griffin's on the table. Heck, even Gordon Hayward has to be on the table at this point. So we're gonna play it. Weigh our options and see what happens. But we're talking about Sam Decker, Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, DeAndre Liggins, who they got from the Mavericks. The Rockets started just trading everybody for cash. And I mean, the Mavericks traded us DeAndre Liggins. The Pistons traded us Darren Hillard. And I hate this part, giving up Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Whittier. I hated that. And this next thing is just a throw in, because you know that the Rockets are not going to have a top 3 pick in 2018 draft, but it's a top 3 protected draft pick and $661,000 to the Clippers in exchange for Chris Paul. So my thing is, this is one of the biggest trades since KG. Don't you think? But the only thing is, the Rockets didn't give up the whole team. They just gave up
I was going to say, they didn't give up the entire pot, because they ended up doing more moves later on in the day. But, I mean, first of all, I'm just going to applaud Daryl Morey for just being aggressive today. He gave him a round of applause. Dr. Plaz.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with his aggression. It's better than waiting for free agency and having to wait for him to go to all these visits and whatnot. The only thing I'm worried about is people are saying, I don't know if you saw my Facebook, but people are saying, oh, it's just a 1-year deal. He's going to leave next year. And I'm like, dude, I'm sure they had a full conversation about this before this trade went through. Are you going to sign a long-term deal here, so on and so forth? He can still sign the $200 million contract with the Rockets for 5 years, which is going to be crazy. I think he can play up until he's 37, and it'd be good. But I don't know. I want to see that. I want to see him re-sign. Obviously, if Chris Paul and James Harden can collaborate, then
which you feel like they can.
I do. I feel like Chris Paul's never got a chance to play in an up-tempo offense, and the way he does the pick and roll, you're looking at 2 of the best pick and roll players in the league right now on the same team, throwing alley-oops. So Clint Capella might be most improved player. He's going to dunk everywhere. He might dunk out the gym, bro.
I mean, trying to say that Clint Capella and DeAndre Jordan is basically interchangeable?
Yes.
Wow.
Clint Capella, of course, he's not as big as DeAndre Jordan, but in a nutshell, yes, that's pretty much what they're there for, to rebound and block shots. But obviously, I would go as far as to say that Clint Capella could be on the trading block also, only because we got the kid out of China. I'm not going to say the Chinese kid, because I know how Helen and you get.
Oh, yeah, after the last tongue lashing from last week, I'm having to bite my tongue this week. So
the kid from China, Key, and then you got the kid that we just drafted, obviously this year, from Germany. I mean, we got some pieces. I keep hearing that the other guy that we have in Spain, I believe, is always thinking about coming over. So he would be a great player off the bench. So, I mean, you just never know who's coming over. And if these guys are coming over, and then you go ahead and fill your roster with some veterans, some vet minimum guys, not Darren Williams or anything like that, but some other guys, I think we're going to be okay.
I think it brings, a little bit more, I don't want to say balance, because there's no such thing as balance in the NBA today. Mm-hmm. But it brings, better arguments in barbershops. It brings, a little bit more competitive spirit when it comes to the playoffs, because these playoffs this year was, like, terrible.
Right.
Like, there was probably only one series that was really worth my time.
Maybe two. Maybe. We're talking about, obviously, Boston versus Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know about you, but I mean, I personally enjoyed the Rockets versus the Thunder for the first 2 or 3 games.
I mean, kind of called that one though. Called
Yeah,
that series too.
I would hope that we would have got past the Thunder because even though they have the reigning MVP on their team, which we'll get into, um, their team is really not that far off. I think if they could sign one player, maybe two, get rid of Robinson, like if they would have signed or trade for Danny Green, it would be a big upgrade for them. You're talking about going from Dion Waiters to a Fualo. Mm-hmm. Fualo. Somebody said he was the worst player. Oh God! And you called him the joke of the. Oh, that's so terrible.
I mean,
Fualo.
I mean, he is what Dan Hibiki should have been in Street Fighter 4.
Wow.
But Dan Hibiki turned into a really good mid-tier character.
And this guy just didn't. So
I'm just saying, after that one game that I keep getting upset about.
No, definitely.
That's all the proof I'm putting for you. So, but I mean, looking forward though, because we only have about 50 seconds left for this subject. Looking forward though, I mean, do you see, Harden's points stay the same? Do they rise? Do they fall a little bit? His assist numbers, do they rise? Do they fall? Like, how do you think, what does this move now affect James Harden? Do you feel like he'll ever be a MVP contender again?
I think he might be. 2 points, maybe. 2 points he might drop off. But I don't see it being like this crazy drop off. Because think about it. Who else? You think about who you got rid of. You got rid of Lou Williams. You still going to have Eric Gordon coming in off the 6th man of the year, which we're going to talk about. You still have, Trevor Ariza. If they bring in Paul Millsap or one of these other guys, then sure, his points will drop down to maybe 23. But I don't see it dropping off tremendously.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. Like, now the West has become a lot more interesting to me.
And as it should be, I'm interested to see if the Clippers go in a direction of how teams should operate, going through the draft, going through the process, which we talked about earlier, a la the 25-year process of the 76ers that you mentioned earlier. But we'll see. But we have another team, obviously, talking about transitioning, that has transitioned out of an era, and a new era will begin. And that is the New York Knicks and Phil Jackson parting ways mutually. I hate that word, mutually parting ways. That means, hey, we don't want you anymore.
Well, that's, a passive-aggressive PC terminology. Like, either you get fired or you quit. Or you're forcibly resigned.
Hey, I don't want to be here. Well, we don't want you to be here. All right, well, I guess that's it then. I guess that's it. Like a romantic comedy. I guess that's it then. All right then. So I'll be seeing you later.
I see what you did there. I mean, I woke up today for work, And
I text you immediately.
Like, woke up this morning, I got a text from the doctor, and he said, Phil out of New York. And I said, What? What? And I jumped straight to ESPN on the app. Make sure you download it on your Google Play Store or your, Apple Store.
Yep.
And when it was confirmed, I was happy, yet I wasn't satisfied. And here's why. I mentioned many times during this show that the problem in New York and with the Knickerbockers isn't just with Phil Jackson. There's different levels of it. He's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But, the main problem still begins and ends with James Dolan. Because he makes a lot of crackpot decisions that hurt the team since 1999. Like, I think they said that we only had 9 playoff game wins since the 1999 season.
This is what I will say. And it's funny because I was talking to Jay Rich earlier, and
Shout out to
he
Jay
almost,
Rich.
absolutely, he almost had the audacity to say that the Knicks were a playoff team after Melo was acquired in that Denver trade. And I said, don't you ever say that out loud in the presence of John Gotti. He will
Really?
literally
Because
eat your heart
the
and
Knicks were
eat
the
your
second
data for
seed
breakfast.
at the All-Star break before this
That's
trade
what,
happened.
and that's what I was
And they
telling
ended
them.
up being, I believe, the 7th or 8th seed. They
I
dropped
was,
games after the trade.
I was like,
There's
Jay Rich.
no such thing as they was a playoff. Like, they almost missed the playoffs.
I
They were
said,
balling.
Jay
Amari
Rich,
Stoudemire was an MVP candidate.
please don't ever say that out loud to John Gotti. Because he
I'm
will
just
eat for
saying,
breakfast.
when they made the trade, once again, I was happy yet disappointed because there was people who were part of that trade that I really liked, that I felt like we could have definitely built something special with.
Can I ask you though, and I just want you to just take this this comment and question: is Carmelo the first player we've had in the last 10 years who's just played better in the West?
Surprisingly, yes.
Isn't that crazy? He played so much better in Denver. Like, he came to New York, he got soft. I feel like he gained weight. I don't know. Like,
SAWFT. Dang.
soft. I don't know. And I was like, bro, like, this is so crazy. He's like the first player to ever go to an Eastern team and not really succeed.
Maybe it's just the fact that the East still isn't that tough.
And that's true too.
Like,
but,
you have
but
to
that would
earn
mean,
your spot in the West.
but that
There is no
that would mean that he'd
freebies.
be better though. He should be better.
Like, around the time that he came in, you could, be in the playoffs in the East with a under 500 record.
True. So they fired Phil Jackson. Obviously, I think I heard earlier that they're looking into one of the executives from the Raptors, which I don't know why. Why would you look into an executive from the Raptors? Obviously, there's a certain GM that was who also mutually parted ways
Yep,
with
David
his
Blatt.
team. And no, not David Blatt.
No, not David Blatt.
That's perfect though. You're on the right track. I
Yeah.
don't remember his name, but the guy from
It was, oh gosh,
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's not David Blatt. I'll confirm that in a second.
Could you imagine if David Blatt does wind up coaching the Knicks?
I mean, he never really got a fair shake, so I mean, I'm okay with at least giving it a try.
It's Chris Grant, is it? Is it Grant?
No,
No,
David Griffin.
Griffin. David Griffin. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you bring in Griffin? Obviously, he can at least get you some contracts. I feel like his trade ability is okay. It's just after a while, the Cavs are they just grew to be
top
too
heavy.
big. Yeah, so
They were just too top heavy, and the problem with the Cavs, even with the Heatles back in the day, was
Right.
that they lacked a decent bench. Yeah, they could run up and down the floor because they had three of the best, athletic players, in the NBA at that time. But their
Right.
bench was trash. Their bench was dependent of just getting hot. If they're not hot, they're losing, or it's just it's a really, really good game.
and I agree. I mean,
Of
the
course,
one thing I
LeBron and
will
Maniac's
say-
probably going to get their pitchforks at the professor over here afterwards.
Of course. Now, the one thing I will say is that the Knicks might have to hit the reset button, and the only way to do that is really to start unloading these high-priced players and build around your young
I've been
star
saying
like
that.
we've been talking about.
I've been saying that, though.
And I know they don't want to buy Carmelo out and all that good stuff.
I think they
but
should buy him out.
I think they should too.
I think they should.
I think they should buy him out and then amnesty Noah.
Which I'm
Let
totally fine
Rose-
with.
Let Rose walk. Now, I don't know if you heard yet. I don't know if it broke on your ticker,
But their high interest is re-signing Derrick Rose. Yes.
No. Your number 8 overall pick was walking gingerly earlier, so apparently he hurt his leg already. I don't know if you.
Yeah, but he had a game. I mean, that happened. That's basketball, man.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want it to turn out to be like something serious and
something like a Grey Golden kind of situation.
No. I mean, just anything that would stop him from playing this year. I don't want to see it. But yeah, the Knicks gonna have to start over. Dolan's gonna have to bounce basically because, I mean, he's just no bueno. He's no John Gotti. Let's just put it like that.
I mean, I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
You know what that means. He's no John Gotti.
No clue what that means.
No data analyzing ninja. He can't catch data with his teeth.
I had the opportunity to listen to First Take today, and normally I would be calling out Stephen A. Smith for being a pissant and a punk. You know, all the other type of words, but he made a lot of sense today. Him and this other guy, Will something, got into a heated debate about Phil Jackson. And before they started going into talking about Stephen A. Smith's credibility to earn the money that he's making as a sports analyst, Stephen A. Smith mentioned that he's looking at the tenure of Phil Jackson as an executive, which I totally understand. It needs to be looked at separately. It can't be, everything grouped together with him being a player, him being a coach, and him being an executive. He was also ran as an executive. He wasn't, the best of guys. He wasn't the worst of guys. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, he disappointed. He disappointed, even though he talked a great game. At the same time, he just fell short. In my opinion, I felt like he fell short. The people at First Take mentioned the draft picks, which, that's a fair argument. Definitely picked up KP, but it wasn't necessarily him who picked up KP. It was more him delegating to someone else to pick KP. So, I mean, I don't know if he gets all the credit. Looks like we lost the doctor, so we're going to have Chris, once again, everyone's favorite AV technician, trying to hold it down again to get the doctor back in the show. But you only got 10 more seconds. I mean, going forward, as glad as I am about this, we still have the situation as far as what system the Knicks are trying to play. Will they continue to have Jeff Horn second? Will they actually play, the game based on how he sees it versus how, someone in the shadows is trying to see it? At this point, anything is better than what we got in these past 3 seasons. I felt like we had a lot of good young pieces. I feel like that we should still grow with these pieces. We could still make a lot of noise. But I mean, we got to buy out Carmelo Anthony. And either James Dolan needs to get hit with an apple to say eureka and actually make smart decisions, or he just needs to just stay in the shadows and let someone else handle everything. That's what I think. But as we're still getting the doctor back in, we're going to move on and talk about the NBA MVP, because we know this is a hot topic, and the NBA award show that happened on Monday. Overall, I'll give the show 3 out of 10.
You gave it a 3 out of 10?
I give it a 3 out of 10.
First and foremost,
I'll give it an extra point. I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because it's something brand new. The production value, I enjoyed it, but it lost a lot of points because of Drake. It lost a lot of points because of some of the stupid awards that they was trying to give out. I don't really care about the assist of the year. I really don't. If I want to see
How
that,
can
I'll
you
watch
not
it
care? How can you not care about the assist of the year, bro?
because it means nothing to the Professor John Gotti. Like, if I want to
But
watch
you
the
know,
assists of the year or assists of the year, I watch it on YouTube. The award ceremony was 2 hours.
now I know some people hated the fact that number one, James Harden didn't get, I think, Performer of the Year, and this wasn't me. I want you to know that this wasn't me. But how did he not get any awards? You know what I mean? Like, that was the thing that was kind of crazy to me, and I thought it was disrespectful to me and this basketball business.
I don't know.
Yeah, but oh god, Chris is just trolling me left and right.
I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at the facts. Do we really care about the assist of the year during the award ceremony? Not really. Do we care about the dunk of the year? No, not really. You know, do we really care about performance? Do we really care about performance of the year? I don't.
No, absolutely not.
Like,
You just get the MVP.
To be fair, had they done this, you know, the day prior to the playoffs or something like that, I wouldn't be so upset about it. But now you're expecting us to A, remember most of this stuff,
right,
and B, care about this stuff well after the regular season ended.
No, absolutely, I agree. And it's pretty crazy to think about it because the only thing we really care about MVP, sixth man, and defensive player of the year,
and most improved,
and I guess, and a most improved and coach of the year. You know, but when you start throwing in executive, yeah, I mean, I don't know about executive of the year. I don't know. I can see why you would give it a 3. I mean, I think based on everything I've heard, because I skipped it, I was trying to catch one of our next topics, LeVar Ball, on Monday Night Ball. So I wanted to make sure I caught that. And, you know, I was also sitting there. I was tired from the gym, and I was like, do I really feel like listening to Drake sing all night?
Oh.
No, I don't want to see. So I skipped it. Ladies and gentlemen. But, I mean, it comes down to that situation where, hey, Russell Westbrook won the
as we all knew he was going to win.
And I mean, I wish it was a little closer, but it wasn't even. It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close. Everyone drank the triple-double Kool-Aid. You know, they keep saying historical attributes. I'm like, okay, that's well and good, but no one's caring about the number of wins. You know, no one's caring about whether or not he makes his team better. An analyst, I forgot what analyst it was, and I should have remembered it because when he said this, I was like, what are you? I think it was John Sally actually who said that.
Probably was.
John Sally said that Russell Westbrook made his team better. He made his teammates better.
Absolutely not.
And if I was anyone on that show at that point, I want to say, how did he do that? Explain that to me. Who had career years?
But see, that's the thing. He made his teammates better by making them look less bad.
Then that's not making them better. That's just, you know, quote unquote, putting a veil over it.
I mean,
because those issues definitely showed itself during the playoffs. I mean, poor Andre Roberson. I'm so glad he was at least there because we thought that, you know, he had to be put on suicide watch or something.
I mean,
with the amount of trolling because of his 3-point shooting and his free throw shooting.
But of course, playoffs. Don't you talk about playoffs?
But I'm trying to, you know, have people look at it in perspective. Like, if you forget about the playoffs, who really had, you know, a heck of a season that go, oh, wow, you know, Russell Westbrook really pushed these people up. They really elevated their game. No, they didn't. They signed freaking, what's his name? Their center.
The center?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Steven Adams.
You're talking about, Adams.
Like, they signed him for a monstrous deal, and he's basically, you know, the Phil Jackson of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and is just collecting a paycheck for doing nothing.
Terrible. I mean, my thing is, they also made a trade for Doug McBuckets and a few other people that I thought were really going to come in and really warrant some playing time, but it just didn't happen. I'm interested to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it turns out, but I mean, we're definitely gonna have to wait and see, I guess, what the next move is. And if they don't make any moves, I doubt,
They're going to be the same
highly
way. They're
doubt.
like people are talking
Yeah.
about, the OKC Thunder is going to make a lot of noise next year, and maybe they will. Maybe they will. But my
Hmm.
problem still is, guys. I mean, how do you see it? I can't see this.
Right.
How? Talk
It's.
to me. Tell me how.
I mean, it's almost like they're trying to forecast Russell Westbrook doing the same thing again. And granted, he might have another monstrous year.
But not averaging a triple double.
He might. The reason I think
I mean, we had the stats talking about how many rebounds that he had was non-contested.
we did.
He led the league in non-contested rebounds.
And that's the thing that stinks because it's like, why pay a center, top.
Why here?
Hilarious.
Get out of here.
But I mean, that's not really the topic here. I mean, was there any surprises? I guess I don't think so. I knew that Gordon was going to win the 6-man.
Yep.
I guess the coach of the year drew some speculation and some controversy. Obviously, some of the Spurs fans wanted Pop to win, but it was really between Spoelstra and my man Mike D.
I'm gonna definitely capture this moment forever because I'm waiting, like the rock thing, start hearing you going, "Get that bum out of here." I am waiting for that.
I'm probably not going to do that this time around. For a coach to get in
It
Houston,
doesn't.
And
I mean, we still talk about after having 51 season.
Exactly. Which I'm so shocked that he hasn't gotten a good opportunity.
Like James Dolan, get him. I would love him in New York.
I would love Mark Jackson because he can build up a young team. Yeah, and he's gonna hit them with some slick, slick words. He's gonna tell them to keep their hand up because hand down, man down.
And then someone gets a wicked dunk, and he's gonna, say to his coaching staff, "Mama, there goes that man."
There goes that man.
But I mean, we all knew Giannis was gonna win the MIP. Well deserved. He had a heck of a season, and he's
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there was their process as well, and we're gonna see. We're definitely gonna see.
Game 1 of the season. After they win their first game, they're gonna say, "Giannis, so how do you feel about the rest of the season?" He's gonna go, "LeBron James, we coming after this. We coming for the gold. LeBron, we coming after you."
Ninja.
Of course, that's definitely a prelude to one of the other subjects, but
Absolutely. It's so terrible that we have to discuss that, but
we have to. I don't want to, but we have to.
Yeah, we do. It's really terrible though that's what happened.
Okay, we'll get there. Let's not spoil it.
Yeah,
it's after the next one. Let's, because I know we both have stuff that we need to say. We get this stuff off our chest, because we gotta have heart.
I mean, that's what it takes to win.
Gotta have heart.
Heart. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, 3 out of 10 for the show. What did you think of the show?
I mean, based on the highlights, like I said, I didn't watch because I'm not really big on it, but I probably would give it a 4. Just the fact that a lot of the winners deserved it, and of course they just have to make it a spectacle. But that's cool. That's cool. That sir is cool.
All right. Well,
that's all I can say. It's good. It's cool.
let's talk about our next subject then, which is the free agency and the rumor mills. Uh, we know that there's still a lot of high-profile people out there, whether they're on the trading block or they're free agents. I mean, we can literally start off with PG-13. I mean, he's gonna end up getting traded. He's gonna be a 1-year loan for a team.
Not necessarily. So I'm reading reports. Yeah, I'm reading reports that say that he will sign with the Cavs if LeBron commits to staying. And I think that's everybody. Everybody's like, listen, I'm not coming to Cleveland and then LeBron just leaves and then I'm stuck with the broke down Cavs. Even though the Cavaliers team with just him and Kyrie and Tristan Thompson would still be better.
They'll be at least the number 2 or 3 seed.
They would still be better than the Pacers. So I don't even understand. Unless they, depending on the trade, they just happen to get immaculate. But I don't think they're going to get anything great back in return. So Kevin Love. That's it. They're getting Kevin Love. So, but then again, I mean, Cleveland basically will turn back into the terrible Cleveland Cavaliers if LeBron leaves, because everybody's going to leave. What you think about it, though, if Paul George gets traded to the Cavs, he's not going to sign an extension until LeBron signs his extension. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to sign his extension until LeBron signs his.
Yeah.
And that's going to be whack, bro. That's whack.
It's a thing.
That's terrible, though. And then, like I said, if think about how fast the team will decline. So if LeBron says, "I'm going to the Lakers," oh my God! Or if
which apparently he said that he's never going to the Lakers, but we all know how much bull malarkey that could be.
See, I thought that article said he would never go to the Clippers.
I think that's what I thought. He'll never go to LA. Unless it's clickbaiting, which is, what the media is great at.
Right, because I thought that said the Clippers, but it could have definitely said LA, period. I mean, heck, he could come to Houston and play with James Harden and,
I knew he was gonna go there.
Chris Paul.
He's going to go there. Ah! Knew it!
I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, again, it makes sense. Friends. Why not? Daryl Morey has to make sure that Chris Paul has a great time in his first year. That means James Harden has to play defense. Chris Paul has to not yell at people. And everything's going to be good. But if they could swing Carmelo, PG, Gordon Hayward, I mean, I guess I would settle for Paul Millsap, I guess. But if we sign Paul Millsap, like, I don't really understand how that upgrades us in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, that's like us signing Chris Bosh right now. Like, we have a stretch 4. It's just we need that extra scorer. And obviously, Chris Paul is excited to reunite with Trevor Ariza, so Trevor Ariza is not getting traded. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I don't even know who's left. I don't know who we have left, if we have anybody left. And that's me just being honest.
I mean, do you feel like that your Rockets going to turn into what the Heat and the Cavaliers were? And
Absolutely.
Having to depend on, picking up bums or, veterans who got waived?
Absolutely. I think we will have to go with league veteran minimum guys, or rookies or bring up people from the D League, the Gary Payton Juniors and the thirds and the, all those guys. Well, they traded a lot of the good ones. They're probably going to have to call up some people from the D League. Bobby Brown's going to have to stick around. I mean, it's going to be interesting, but I don't want to spend all my time.
Rhymed that.
I'm sorry. But I mean, obviously, maybe the new thing is sign and trade. Obviously, the Rockets are doing it right now. Maybe we see the Celtics do it because, they're trying to get Paul George and Gordon Hayward. But nothing indicates that he wants to go to Boston.
Yeah.
Nothing indicates that. Gordon Hayward's meeting with the Heat soon, so it's like I don't know if Boston's the prime destination that they think they are. Maybe they'll land on Blake Griffin.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I mean, wouldn't it would be interesting to see if, hey, maybe the Clippers call Boston up, say, hey, if you want Blake Griffin, if he's interested in signing with you, we could do a sign and trade, and they get those players that, would help the Clippers at least get to a point where they're okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They might have to bring in some new pieces, but they already got some solid pieces from the Rockets. But if you can get Jamison Crowder and maybe 2 or 3 other players from the Celtics for Blake Griffin, who you most likely are going to lose, then, I mean, why not? But if I'm Blake Griffin, I think I would just take the money and stay in LA.
I think he's going to most likely stay in LA. I think that's probably the better decision for him. Because I think he needs to go somewhere where there's a distributing point guard.
He had a distributing point guard, though.
Well, that's because the Clippers aren't who we thought they were all this time.
Well, honestly, I read earlier that the only reason Chris Paul is leaving is because Doc Rivers wouldn't trade Austin Rivers for Carmelo.
He wouldn't put him in the deal. Blood after a while.
Yeah, that's what one of the reports said. I think we went out and said that. I know I said that Doc should have been gone, but you guys were giving him all kinds of second and third and fourth chances and stuff.
I just said it's going to be an extra year, and that's it. That's all I said. Just one extra year.
I mean, but that's going to be whack now because it's like. Hey, I mean, he stinks now, but here we are. Just let him off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we also have just a few other people. Obviously, the Knicks still have to make a decision on Carmelo if they're going to buy him out. You have Kyle Lowry. There's still not this.
Stay.
Yeah, most likely. And then you still have some, second and third tier guys like the Paul Millsaps. Obviously, you still don't know if the Spurs were just trolling LaMarcus Aldridge or were they seriously thinking about trading him. They
might be really serious about trading LA. Like, he has brought no value back to that organization.
Could you imagine if the Rockets traded for LaMarcus Aldridge?
Who are you going to give up? You have no one else to give up.
It would have to be Ryan Anderson.
Wow, what, straight up? Because I don't think that's going to work.
I mean, Ryan Anderson and, something stupid.
And a draft pick?
Probably. We've definitely mortgaged our future with this. Well, not really, because it's only been... Really, this is the only trade we've ever made where it's only been one draft pick. So, I was pretty impressed by that. But we still... Actually, now that I think about it, we still do have some pretty good pieces. Because we still got... Chinua, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. The guy from Louisville that shot the underhand free throw.
Yep.
We still have like I said, the international player, so we actually might be okay. But I mean, I'm interested to see what other teams are interested out there in making moves. I saw that Jeff Teague and the Knicks have mutual feelings. How would you feel about the team getting Jeff Teague?
I mean, when he was a free agent, a few years ago, I was hyped about it because I felt like he could have been, the starting pieces to help bring us back to some kind of glory. Not championship glory, but, we don't become the laughing stock like the Nets.
October somewhere, I can't believe John Gotti said that.
Shots fired!
He might be swinging. Swinging a bat right now.
But,
shout out to
I mean, you never know. I mean, maybe our draft pick stays in Europe a few more years. I'm fine with that, and we pick up Jeff Teague. I'm okay with that. But we just have to start growing. We need to grow. Yeah. We need to stop getting so many, yesteryear superstars who can't do anything anymore.
The guys that are playing in that 3-on-3 league, that Big 3 league.
I can't believe you just go there.
The Knicks signed Allen Iverson.
I think it's time for us to go to our next subject.
The Knicks signed Allen Iverson.
It's time for us to go to our next subject. We're just going to stop that right now. Let's talk about the thing that the people were screaming in our ears since it happened.
Rasheed Wallace signs with the Knicks.
Oh my gosh. Ball don't lie.
Oh God, ball don't lie. Wow, what a great segue.
Well, apparently on Monday, it wasn't called WWE Raw. It was called Raw
Monday Night
Ball.
Or
Monday Night Ball. That sounds good too. I think both ways sound good.
Yeah, both ways were pretty good. Now, John Gotti.
Yes, Doctor.
What the heck happened on Monday? I mean, my God. What the heck?
Did I not tell you off stream on Monday that it was going to turn into a train wreck? Did I not say that?
It was okay. First of all, he couldn't stop smiling, so that was like you can't. He couldn't be healed because he just couldn't stop smiling. He had that Bailey syndrome, that freaking
that Apollo Crews syndrome. You mean?
Yes, he just couldn't stop.
Like,
and
then, my leg is broken, but I can't stop smiling.
And then John Gotti, he did it. He said, "Don't take your shirt off, boy." That shake.
Like, as soon as I saw that, the first thing I thought of was K-Brad, our boy K-Brad, because when he had that exhibition challenge with Mike Ross on the previously known Capcom Pro Talk Twitch channel, like that sound that he made, it reminded me of that. I couldn't help but laugh. Like, it was entertaining, and What Culture mentioned it today as well too. Shout out to What Culture, WWE. It was entertaining, but it's entertaining in the wrong reasons.
Right. And the thing is, and I mentioned this to you, I really just feel like he was living his 10 to 15-year-old dream, because it seemed like the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, and like everyone into one. It was like, what the heck was that? And Lonzo was just laughing.
I don't know. See, you make me think of more stuff that could have replaced that. Like, I was waiting on memes. Like, I was waiting for someone to put like Ultimate Warrior face paint on him when his face started shaking. Like, I don't know if you remember, but like when Ultimate Warrior was about to face Randy Macho King Savage at WrestleMania 7, and Sensation Sherry was trying to, I guess you could say snake charm him, and he was like, no. You watch that right now, you will get my point.
I will.
Just look for that.
But my thing also was that I think he tried to run at the ropes, and then he wound up going around the whole stage, and Maurice was like, so,
Maurice lost. But that's not. First of all, it's Maurice, because if not, she would probably slap us in the face. Let's get it right.
I'm sorry, Maurice. So that's not the controversial part that we're so fortunate to have to speak on.
Controversy. Oh, the Ball family know about controversy. They didn't need to marry what's her name.
Yeah, they didn't. And you, they didn't need to do that. Young Bull pulled a Booker T.
Oh my gosh.
And for those that don't know, Booker T. Well, see, Booker T did it by accident.
Booker T definitely did it by accident. He knew what he was doing, getting the mic.
Yes. It was weird, though, because why would they even give him any lines? Why would they give him lines? You saw how he plays basketball. He cherry picks. So why would you give a cherry picker lines?
I wish I could tell you, man.
So the young ball LaMelo
Yep, LaMelo. Not to be
dropped the
not to be confused with Carmelo.
nope. Dropped the N bomb not once, but two
Twice
times. Two
in rapid
times
succession.
live on Monday Night Ball. How unbelievable is that? I mean, how that speaks volumes to the culture, and I hate it because, despite the fact that LeVar Ball was making a fool out of himself, obviously he was having fun. Now it goes back to that, hey, is he a good parent question all over again for something that's, I just can't believe it.
I mean, are we gonna really, and I posted this out in some of the groups that we're in. Like, are we really gonna brush this one underneath the rug? Are we really gonna ignore that this actually happened?
We can't, because it happened live on Monday Night Ball.
Live! Like, Kevin Dunn could not stop this at all.
He couldn't. There was nothing he can do about it.
Like, even with his majestic teeth that are the stuff of legends.
Oh my god. He had to take this one in the face.
He took it in the face. Vince took it in the face because Vince was pissed off as it happened. I mean, the Ball family gave the WWE a balling effect. Like,
that was me doing the balling effect.
They literally threw WWE into the turnbuckle, kicked them in the gut so they could sit down at the turnbuckle, walk back a little bit, did the little X-Pac, oh, I'm crazy, I might be, losing my mind kind of thing, run towards WWE, jump on top of him, crotch first, and proceed to Bronco Buster them, a.k.a. the balling effect.
The balling effect. I just don't even know, man. I just... It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy.
I mean, between the father acting like he doesn't have any dang sense, and LaMelo not getting the tar smacked out of him on live TV. Because if that was my kid, he would have just got one-shotted.
But I feel like Lonzo was trying to tell him to chill.
Lonzo was telling him to chill. After, he just like, okay, I'll just laugh too. He's like, why did you say that? Like, don't do that. But then he's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't care about this. And that's the attitude. They had a very cavalier attitude.
Not cavalier attitude.
Cavalier attitude. A very maverick attitude.
Not maverick attitude. That's the attitude that, a guy will get locked in his house and you'll lose him for free agency attitude.
Hilarious. I see what you did there. Shots fired.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I'm sorry, Dallas.
You're not sorry.
I'm not sorry. You're right.
Not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But I just hate it, though. I just hate the fact that just happened on live TV in front of millions of WWE fans. I mean, that's just as bad as...
All in all, it succeeded to doing what it was supposed to do, which was to get WWE more exposure to mainstream, to get the Ball family mainstream attention, especially since they was in LA. That part worked, but that attention was in a negative light. Like, WWE were quick. No, they were quick to issue an apology to the people. And WWE's not quick on doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it was a setup? Do you think they just knew that he would do it?
Especially since this week is the 10-year anniversary of a major tragedy that happened in the sports world, in the wrestling entertainment world, in the wrestling world. That's going to be my final thoughts.
Okay, look forward to hearing it. But I don't know, man. I just feel like... Why did they have to do this to us?
Because they need money.
Do they though? I mean, he just went number 2 overall. Like literally, he just went number 2. You have another son who's about to go to college.
It's all about getting the big baller brand promotion to get the name out there.
But think about how that hurts the big baller brand now too.
He doesn't care about that because people are going to be stupid enough to still go out there and buy it. It doesn't matter if logically sane people look at him like, oh my gosh, what is he doing? Like, does he not realize how much he's hurting his brand? No, it's going to be less than intelligent people going out there. Oh, I'm still going to buy this. Oh, he was hilarious. Yeah, big baller brand. You got to be a baller.
Terrible. I'm glad the buzzer sounded on that.
I'm glad it did it too. Let's keep going to another piss entry, which was Money in the Bank, or as we would like to say, Money in the Bank 2. The results of Money in the Bank was trash.
You thought it was trash?
It was trash because...
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Because
what's your overall ranking first? Like, what did you give it?
What, Money in the Bank?
Yes.
I give it a 6. It was an okay, solid show. It lost 3 points by itself because every single match just kept working the leg, just kept working the knee. Lana didn't even know what knee she was trying to work.
Oh my god, I was impressed with Lana though because I didn't even know she had half of that scream in her. She got squashed last night. I mean,
she got squashed.
That's what happens when you're. That's what happens when your first matches on a pay-per-view.
Her first match was for a championship. I can't say title because they don't use that anymore. It was for a championship at a pay-per-view. Her first singles match is like that. How many people really got that kind of opportunity? Recent years,
no one.
So far I can remember it was Paige when she went to the main roster and Santino Marella.
Terrible. Not good company. Not good company at all. So I was okay with some of the angles, some of the matches. I gave it a 7. I thought it was an overall good pay-per-view. I like the fact that Gender won. Hate the fact that the Singh brothers got involved. We know. I know I spoke with Jay Rich about it, and he was pretty upset with the fact that the Singh brothers got involved also.
It's basically like, Seth Rollins and JJ Security all over again.
But when you think about it, I mean, it brings back that 90s heel where $1 Million Man had Virgil. You know what I mean? Like, it brings back that old 90s heel.
Yeah, but we got that, but at the same time, we also want to make him a credible champion. And not just a champion based off of business acquisitions. So it's like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, I really do love the fact that they're embracing the 80s, heelish nature of having the outside interference. But that's literally every single one of his matches now.
Absolutely.
Like literally, you can grab your watch and count down when the Singh brothers going to interfere in the match. It just became too predictable.
I mean, for me, I'm just happy that he gets an opportunity to go out there and compete. And he did take it to Randy Orton for quite some time. I mean, I give him credit. Like, he really can't
wrestle. It's the booking.
No, you're not. You're not saying that he can't wrestle. But there are some people out there who are saying that he is no good. He can't wrestle, and to get him out of there, those Romanites.
The Romanites are trolls by themselves, so let's just stop it.
I mean, LeVar Ball just gave a better promo.
I mean, right now, the Romanites are calling, is trying to bid for LeVar Ball to be in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God!
I went there.
But I don't have a problem with Gender, though. I mean, I think he's a good champion. I hope he holds the belt for a couple more months. I don't want him to lose to Randy. If anything, I would want him to feud with someone like Shinsuke or somebody.
Yeah, but they're gonna wait for Shinsuke, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna do Shinsuke versus AJ 9 times.
because I mean I think that's gonna be a first for WWE history as well too.
What do you think? Baron Corbin versus Jinder Mahal?
They're gonna do a swerve where Baron's going to do the ultimate opportunist tactic of cashing in after a match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna bank Survivor Series.
Probably when Randy Orton actually wins. And he becomes like the 99th time he's been champion.
These guys have been winning championships left and right. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is. It is crazy, but
I mean, there's no such thing as a memorable title run. Like, whatever. But I'm really happy that Baron Corbin won the Money in the Bank. I believe that was my prediction.
Jay Rich hated it.
It was the most logical decision, if you think about it.
He hates Baron Corbin though. He for some reason most people wanted Sammy to win, and I'm just like,
but why? God. Like, okay, so and I hate to break Jay Rich's heart, but I'm gonna have to.
Sammy stinks.
Sami Zayn winning? No, he doesn't stink. He's a heck of an athlete. He's a heck of a wrestler. I don't agree with you right there, but here's what I'm gonna break people's hearts. Sami Zayn, as much as he is a talent in the ring, they do a terrible job with his booking. Let's say he won it. Do you know what his Money in the Bank run will turn into?
A women's title match?
Nope. Damien Sandow when he won it. Do anyone remember that? Nope.
I mean, we talked about it, but he lost, so...
He lost.
Which he
lost to Super Cena, who was recovering from, I think it was a tore muscle in his shoulder.
Yeah. But...
Like, that's what's going to happen with Sammy. The match was excellent. It wasn't 6.25 stars, but it was pretty good for what it was.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. I just don't think Sammy's ready for WWE Gold.
I don't think he's ever going to get WWE Gold.
Wow. So what is he? I mean, so he'll be the first to be released.
He's the enhancement talent. He's there to make sure that, people who can't wrestle get over. And people who can wrestle, just show them why, they're the top wrestlers in the company.
Wow.
That's what he's there for. Wow. That's why every so often he'll get a surprising win.
That's crazy.
I'm only saying this because it's going to be the truth.
So what do you think about the women's Money in the Bank?
I mean, the ending was trash, but it was a great heel way to win. Because it never happened before like that. Ever. But rather than, play it off correctly, play it off smart, they played it off so dumb. They teased Carmella cashing it in later on that night, which I felt like she should have. Teased it twice, actually.
They did tease it twice.
And then she, got it stripped. The next SmackDown, and then this SmackDown they did the rematch, and then she won.
Was it really stripped though? I mean, what did you think about the whole Ellsworth thing? As I poke you here, I'm just poking you.
I am finished with Ellsworth actually. He should have went away a long time ago. In fact, here's one thing that I was thinking about after, and it's going to be our next subject actually. Have Carmella and Big Cass get back together.
That would be nice.
Because now they're both heels, and they can literally feed off of each other. Where Cass struggles on the mic, Carmella can help them out.
Now Cass could just come out. He can actually finally hit someone with a strong move that isn't a big boot.
Nope, it's still going to be big boots.
If he can just...
No, that's the next... We still got another minute before we go there.
The test drive. But, okay. Money in the Bank. I'm trying to think of what else. Gender, Money in the Bank match, women's Money in the Bank. The tag team match, I hated the finish. Some people like the finish.
It was the best finish to continue the feud, but
yeah.
You should know that it's a glorified house show. There really isn't going to be any title changes.
Glorified house show.
It's a glorified house show that people spend top dollar for.
Well, not us. We just paid $10, but I mean
those pissants who actually attended.
The other matches were okay.
We had Zack Ryder returning to action.
We wanted a heel turn.
It was going to happen.
I guess we gotta wait.
It's going to happen soon.
I guess we gotta wait.
Anything else about Money in the Bank? Like I said, for me, it was working the knee,
7.
2 heels winning, and that's about it.
I was happy with the way Naomi finished her. But other than that, it was just okay. That match was okay. I gave it a 7 because of some of the spots.
Whatever. Well, let's talk about something that's a little bit more interesting.
Oh, God.
Joe versus the volcano named Brock Lesnar.
The conqueror of the streak, which is so pointless.
It's pointless.
I like how they're building it to where Joe isn't scared. Joe isn't obviously he's going to get an F5 somewhere.
Which, by the way, Joe is legitly a tough guy in real life. So, he's just playing his own. He's just, acting as himself.
Absolutely.
But I love the fact that, they are building him very strong. I don't like the fact that they're doing a lot of cheap shots for him.
Yes.
Because I feel like that he isn't really that kind of, person to go after the title like that.
He's a guy that's going to beat you up. Because he can.
Hashtag right? Beat up Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. It sucks because Brock isn't someone that's going to take the bumps the right way.
Nope.
He's not going to take the bumps. He's not going to get beat up. He just wants to do suplexes. You'll have to rake him in the eye or something, or do something crazy.
Kick him in the balls twice, a la.
Yes. Something like that, where it's you're gonna do that, love our ball face. But I'm not excited for the match, honestly. I'm looking more forward to Conor versus freaking Mayweather than this match. I can't believe
you just said that. I can't believe you said that. I'm so mad that you said that.
Are you disagreeing with me?
The reason why I'm excited about this match is they might actually swerve us all and have Joe win the title. Because one of the things that is hurting Raw as far as ratings is the fact that they don't have a champion that's there every single week. So doing that is highly beneficial.
The only thing I'm excited about is that this match is only scheduled for one fall.
One fall!
And it is for the whatever they call that title now.
WWE Universal
But I'm just happy that it's one fall. And it'll be over. I don't, like you said, I think either it was you or Jay Rich or someone mentioned that it was in Brock Lesnar's contract that he had to hold the title for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's so stupid.
It is stupid.
Why would you sign that?
No, why would they even draft that? Forget sign.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they say? Do they really have that written down in their notepads?
Yes. And they was drinking champagne afterwards, celebrating how much of a great deal because we got the Beast incarnate. But I love the build up to the feud. I love the fact that they're given a chance to have Joe on the mic because he can spit a pretty good promo. I think the promo of the year can definitely be the Paul Heyman Samoa Joe one. So far, Like, that was a great promo. Something that's been missing for Raw for a long time. But then again, it's Paul Heyman.
Now, do you think that they're still going to try to slip Roman Reigns in there?
Absolutely. It's going to be either a triple threat or a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. Who's
the fourth person? Wow, that's going to be a cluster.
That's going to be a cluster.
Like, I can't even.
We got a guy who won't do nothing with suplexes. We got another guy who has a definitive wrist too much.
Yes.
We have another guy who keeps screaming out he's not done because, of course, he's never satisfied.
Right.
And then we have someone who can legitimately wrestle. So, yeah, it's going to be a 7-star match. I went there.
So, so Joe walks out of that title at Great Balls of Fire, and then
that's my
somebody
prediction.
Else picks it up.
That's my prediction. There was also a rumor going around talking about Joe winning it at Great Balls of Fire, and then a surprise, I don't want to say a debut, but a reintroduction.
No.
Baron Corbin cashes in Money in the Bank.
How would he do that?
I hate that idea completely because that's just a cop-out, and it makes Joe look like a complete idiot.
So he leaves SmackDown?
He leaves SmackDown to go after the title on Raw, which I'm like, that's just stupid, but whatever.
Wow.
Because if they do that, that means Shinsuke is definitely going to get the title on SmackDown.
Or how would they do that? It wouldn't cross back over, though.
Well, he'll just stay on Raw. That's what I said. It's stupid. Like, that's why my prediction is Joe winning the title. He's holding it to at least Survivor Series, if not Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to worry about Joe being number 30, though.
Right. You just worry about. I don't even know. I don't know.
You see what I did there, Doctor?
I do. I did see what you did there. Oh my God.
But that's my prediction for Great Balls of Fire. I want Joe to win it. I really enjoy watching Joe wrestle, even when he wasn't in WWE. He's a heck of a talent.
Right. That's why the first time he was in WWE, you heard I always say I felt like he won titles because I feel like I always saw him, but he didn't. I feel like he should have, but
I wouldn't say that he was a jobber, but he was definitely an enhancement talent.
Got it. He had that stupid hair at the time too.
Yes.
Everybody's got a price. But
then we have the other.
I'm interested to see.
We have the other storyline that has high intrigue because the IC title has lost whatever flair it has. It's done. Like, nope, forget about it. The other storyline that everyone kind of is talking about is the heel turn of the guy who is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Right. Which we just alluded to a few minutes ago, saying that it would be great if him and Carmella got back together. I saw an article that did say that they split them up too prematurely, but
it was prematurely.
Yeah.
I think had they didn't split them up, they would have been tag champions.
And that's what the article was saying. I just think it's
almost like the professor got reads without even reading.
But the problem is that there are so many tag teams that aren't supposed to be together, but are. And then you got some tag teams where it's like they shouldn't be even wrestling anymore. Like, just think about who they pull off TV than they put on. Like the Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't have happened.
Well, they ruined a lot of NXT talent, though. Let's just call that for what it is. They ruined a lot of NXT talent.
But that guy was pretty big. He was definitely bigger. He gained a lot of weight, bro.
Yes. That was weight. Like, that wasn't muscle.
it was definitely weight, bro. So to me, it's like, all right, wow, we got these guys on TV, and then they did the whole Miami Vice thing. I was just like, with Breezango.
That was entertaining.
You like that?
That was entertaining.
70s and 80s.
That was entertaining. I was looking. I was like, I don't want to watch because I was looking at it on YouTube. I'm like, I don't want to watch. I'm like, let me check it out. And I had a really good laugh about it.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't like a LeVar Ball kind of laugh where I'm like, oh, they're so stupid. It was like, I'm actually entertained by this.
Wow. Because it was old school.
It was old school, but it had a natural flair to it. It allowed them to show their charisma. Not just of Breezango, but even the Ascension. Them, showing a little comedy of what they were doing. Like it helped make the segment better.
I almost threw up when you said flair.
I see what you did there.
No, but I understand what you're saying. You make a good point. It was okay. I felt like it was too much fluff. Even that Maria and Mike Cavellis or whatever their name is, Canellis. Presents.
Which is basically their TNA, shtick.
I just hope that it turns out to be something
hilarious.
That's all I hope. But just quickly, we were talking about Big Cass and Enzo. I mean, what happens now? They fight a few times. Enzo finally really, does a finishing move by itself.
Oh,
Cass kicks out and actually does a boot.
Does anyone even know what their single finishers are in the newest game?
I think Enzo just does a splash.
Is it like I thought it was like a diving bulldog or diving DDT or something.
It might be. I don't even know. But I don't know what Cass does. I mean, hopefully they had a time to really evaluate this before it's too late. Because he is 7 foot tall. He is 7 foot tall.
He's going to end up doing something called the Superman kick.
Oh my god.
And rather than him doing this, he's going to do the same thing but with his leg. Which does not look natural at all.
He's going to do this. 7 feet tall.
7 feet tall! It's like, wait, are you trying to be like Daniel Bryan? Like, no. Yes!
Oh, he might just do the clothesline from hell.
Oh, come on, not that. No.
Oh god, I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy the clothesline from hell in the beginning portions of it.
It was great for Bradshaw because he's basically a shoot wrestler.
Right. It was great at the time. Even the Dominator was great at the time.
I like the Dominator. I even like Farouk's Spine Buster, where he just picks you up and just...
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Although they did kind of get confused about naming the Dominator like 2 different moves for Bobby Lashley. It was either his spear, it was his actual Dominator, or... No, it was 3 moves. It was that, the spear, it was the Dominator, and it was the running power slam. They call all 3 of them at one time the Dominator.
The Dominator. That's one guy you probably won't see come back to the WWE.
He's not coming back.
Yeah. They blew it with him, though, because I thought they had something special.
I mean,
I don't
want to go into the racial point, but it's definitely highly racial. Plus, he was mad green. Once again, Vince McMahon loves big, sweaty men.
I mean, he has the look, doesn't he?
That really moves him. I'm sexy.
Sexy.
Come here, Bobby.
Well, let's move on. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, folks.
I know we got another topic or two here, man.
Actually, it's our final thoughts. Doctor, what is your final thoughts for the people?
Well, I mean, other than The Rock is making a splash, and I hate it because I feel like we're doing it again, ending on somber news. But of course, I have to take my hat off and wish I can't even come up with the words here to say how shocked I was. Again, while at training, one of my former players was murdered, of course, in North New Jersey. So, of course, rest in peace to him, as well as condolences to the family. Such a tragedy. What a great guy, but definitely rest in peace to him. And on a brighter note, looking forward to Evo, of course. I'm hoping that he's there. I don't know if game does play Mario Party or Smash Brothers or things, and I know that sometimes they have Smash Brothers at Evo, so I don't know if he's actually there. But there's a guy online that we watch on YouTube named Dashi. And if you get a chance, he's actually pretty hilarious because he plays different games, and he also plays. So people actually custom make Mario for him specifically to play on.
Summer Games Done Quick, starting this weekend. Live stream on Twitch where they play old school games, new school games, and try to beat it as fast as possible for charity. It's an event that Go ahead.
I was going to say, so they're doing a second one. Do they normally do more than one per year?
They do 2 per year. They do one called Awesome Games Done Quick, which is done in the wintertime. And then they do another one in July called Summer Games Done Quick.
Got it, okay.
And I believe it's 5-6 days long.
Okay.
So basically, almost continuous streaming.
Gotcha.
A couple of games I'm definitely looking forward to watching. A lot of people that I actually watch consistently on Twitch, if not YouTube. So I don't know if Borderlands going to be on there, but I think maybe I should see if there's anyone who does any Division speedrun. That would be interesting to watch. But
that would be. Oh my goodness.
But they're not doing that this year. I mean, maybe that's
that
something.
Would be too much, though, don't you think?
Prof might. I mean, you just got to get from point A to point B. If it's 80%, you can just get to point A to point B as fast as possible. If it's 100%, that's where it's going to become longer.
Gotcha.
Someone has the world record for Borderlands, 101%, and I believe it's 7 hours.
Got it.
But my other final thoughts is, and I mentioned this earlier in the show about, history, something historical that happened this week. 10 years ago this week, there was a major tragedy in the wrestling world, where there was a murder-suicide. Chris Benoit. It is the anniversary of the death of both himself and his family.
Not the Crippler. Oh my god, I can't believe it's been 10 years, bro.
Exactly. And, there's many articles talking about it, many YouTube personalities were talking about it, because it's a big deal, because it definitely changed how, WWE conducted its business. In fact,
Absolutely.
I believe that was the prelude towards the PG era that we now know and love. And the love part.
I agree, as well as some of the changes that were made as far as the lower, lesser chair shots. Actually, I think they brought in the same guy that did the concussion movie after his death.
I believe so.
Yeah, because I remember after I didn't
But
get a chance to finish the movie.
not even just that, but
Yes.
the biggest thing that really impacted was the wellness policies.
Yes.
Wellness policies, because remember, they also lost someone else because of drug related issues. A lot of people do drug related issues, but one recognizable was test.
True.
So
True.
it's a sad way to end it. I think this is like the fourth week in a row I ended on a sad note. But 10-year anniversary of that happening. It was crazy. I mean, for me, I think one of the biggest things about it was, given everything else that happened, but another major factor was, Eddie Guerrero passing as well too.
No,
He was
absolutely.
highly impacted after that happened. I don't think people talk about it enough, though. In my opinion, I don't think they talk about it enough.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, I hate some of the news and some of the over the years and these wrestlers have passed away. It's just like, obviously some of them were older, but that a lot of it was from that 80s and 90s drug use.
Mm-hmm.
And you're starting to see similar things with Razor Ramon, obviously Jake the Snake Roberts, and some of those guys.
I mean, look at Lex Luger for goodness sakes.
Oh my goodness, Lex Luger.
I mean, he basically like a shell of his former self.
Yes, absolutely, yes. But I mean, that's why we just hope that they're doing better. Obviously, you look at like Jeff Hardy, and we've heard what happened with Kurt Angle. How they get addicted to pain pills, and hopefully,
Davey Boy Smith.
It gets better. Davey Boy Smith, and he was supposed to be the next guy up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and people don't even remember this, but he was actually the WCW champion at one time.
He was.
But no one remembers that because it was like, at that time, WCW wasn't really on the map. So it's like, who? Davey Boy won it? Nah.
Right.
But, just wanted to remind people about, this major event in wrestling history and how it, WWE is still trying to recover from it. And I don't think what happened Monday with LeVar Ball and his family just didn't help out. That's just my opinion.
Without question.
But Doctor,
great final thoughts, sir.
We have a track tonight that I know that you was happy about introducing, so I'm going to take it over to you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on the weekend, if you just happen to be my friend on Facebook, and I should start posting this on Twitter, I guess, too. Me and my little Bijan Freezer at TL Double, that's right. Little Bijan, of course, you can follow the Professor John Gotti, the King of Energy, the Troll Master, Data Analyzing Ninja at Ken86, or you can just type in the Professor John Gotti, and it'll pop up for you. Or Debate Amongst Friends at Debate Amongst Fre. Gets me every time. That was an accident too, by the way. I think it's really there, and it just cut off. But every weekend, I walk my dog for a mile. Sometimes I do it during the week if I haven't worked out. So during my Saturday walk for a mile, I decided to start looking up some tracks, and I feel like I found a gem, an international gem, that I feel like we need to start embracing more, especially in the hip-hop culture, because obviously there is more than one way to skin a cat, and I feel like this guy skinned the cat UK style.
I see what you did there.
Obviously, we've had Ashley I on, and I think this guy is really, really close to what we saw in Ashley I. Would love to get Ashley I back on the show to see if he knows this guy. If he doesn't, maybe they can collab. I think it would be kind of like a Bad Meets Evil kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the song is called Ahmed by Lowkey. It is, I hate to say it, but phenomenal. And I leave you with Ahmed by Lowkey.
All right, let's bring it home. Thank you very much for
Bring
tuning
it
in
on.
to tonight's show. I am the Professor John Gotti.
And this is Dr. Wednesday Night himself.
And we'll catch you again, same podcast time, same podcast channel. Peace and love.
His young life was as delicate as the wing of a butterfly and as fragile as a spider's web. For him we cry, 'cause when he dies, we all do. Did Ahmed not deserve a life? Ahmed never hurt a fly. Ahmed never knew the politicians he was murdered by. Certain times Ahmed wished that he could be a bird and fly beyond the sky, escape the curse of birth that he was burdened by. Ahmed never grew to let your racism internalize. Water poured from every pore in his corpse while the nurses cried. Ahmed was a beautiful person, like you or I. But are we? Ahmed could have been a doctor, lawyer or an engineer. Could have been a superstar, but his life ended here. Guess he was a shooting star, burned bright and disappeared. To some he seems to represent a menace in this hemisphere. Let me hear, make the very essence of this message clear. He was precious, many die like him every year. Ahmed was a victim of resentment and relentless fear. Now his soul searched the waves, I wish we could have kept him here.
The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul. They call him Ahmed. The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul. They call him Ahmed.
Ahmed's ancestors introduced to Europe Greek philosophy, brought with them irrigation, mathematics and astronomy. Symbolically, irony of this horror isn't lost on me. Trying to get to Europe via Greece is where he's lost at sea. Ahmed, not Ahmed, it's Ahmed, he's that dead. Toddler lying lifeless on the beach with his back bent, arms spread, reaching the direction that his dad went. If he made it here, would have been bullied for his accent. He was captured by the ocean, paralyzed and frozen while these parasites sat and tight, analyzing clothing out for resources. We all compete beyond the talk of war and peace and talk of porous borders. There is corpses on the shore of Greece. They found a teddy next to where his body was found. The sea swallowed him, politics has swallowed him now, and those responsible, Ahmed's ghost will follow them now. To the family, all we can say is we are sorry he drowned, because
The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul. They call him Ahmed. The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul.
they say, let him drown, what have you done? Let him drown, no, what have we become? Don't let him drown, no, don't let him drown. And they say, let him drown, what have you done? Don't let him drown, no, what have we become? Don't let him drown, please don't let him drown. Ahmed could have been you, and Ahmed could have been me. We need to understand the policies that put him in the sea. We need to understand why it is the beach is full of dying kids. A colonial metropole, people want to reside in. If he did, would he make it or fall to something that's deeper? End up like Ginny and Benga or Khalid Abu Gharifa. A picture by Trevor Paulus on the beaches of Tarifa made me see some would grieve more if Ahmed was a creature with 4 legs. Then they would consider him legitimate. Those like engraving barbed wire burning off their fingertips while force alien. That mentality still exists as privilege. The difference between an expat and an immigrant. For I'm a Somali and Ahmed Rasul Muhammad. When you take others' humanity, it's only yours that's stunted, not a swarm. There are sisters and brothers, that's the sum of it. The cockroaches here are in the media and the government, not the sea.
The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul. They call him Ahmed. The sea, it holds our secrets. The sea, it holds his soul. They call him Ahmed.
Ahmed never knew the politicians he was murdered by. Ahmed never knew the politicians he was murdered by. Ahmed never knew the politicians he was murdered by.